Hi, it's Kevin Bates here. So in the previous video, I talked a bit about pitching new ideas to companies and the difficulties that you face when trying to do that. And one area that I didn't cover is the problem that you have when you have a technical invention which has a business case and you are pitching it to somebody from the business development side, not from the engineering side, because of course you cannot expect somebody who is a business development manager to know all the ins and outs of the various technologies that you're using in your invention. Now, it seems to me that the best way around that is to come up with a good analogy. So there are things that people understand, and there are in general, and there are things that really only the experts or specialists understand. And when you have an invention that relies on expert knowledge, then you need to have a way of getting a sense across as to what is going on without actually having to dive into the maths or the computer code or the system architecture of the invention that you're presenting. Now, finding a good analogy is very, very hard, particularly because normally an analogy involves simplifying some of the original concept, and if you're unlucky, you actually lose some of the core ideas that makes the technology actually work. So I'm facing that with this RFID plus blockchain invention. The best analogy I've got at the moment is that it's the equivalent of putting a scratch card on a device, and the RFID tag works in such a way that the blockchain allows you to scratch the various panels off, and the panels underneath them contain the information that only the genuine article would have. But it's not 100% there. It doesn't it's not 100% analogous, and again, I'm kind of struggling to find a simple way of explaining a piece of technology that I don't personally think is particularly complicated to grasp. Certainly quantum mechanics is much harder than this particular thing, but of course I wouldn't dream of pitching a quantum mechanics invention to a business development manager either. So how to narrow it down into something plain and simple where when it's presented everybody goes, ah, I get that. That's the difficulty. And if any of you crack that one, then I would really like to know. Bye for now.